And welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, having a conversation with Ves Sobot. He is the executive director of the Concerned Coalition of Manufacturers and Businesses Canada, also a business guy. Ves, I want to continue on this conversation we're having about the tariffs and the response to the tariffs, because as it's turned out, and I'm not saying that responding to the tariffs with retaliation is unpopular in Canada, but there's only two countries in the world that have responded this way, China and Canada. And so one has to ask, when the dust settles, is this the right, even medium-term approach, or indeed a long-term approach, or do we have to reset things? What's your take on this?
Well, I'd be very concerned if it's only China and Canada fighting against the tariffs. And I think that's an indication to me that we're approaching this wrong. The Mexicans have been doing a fantastic job on this.
Yes,
Remember, we have 1,400 tariffs on the books on the government website, some of them against America, some of them against the rest of the world. But tariffs are not something that's unusual in trade. Now, mind you, USMCA has been very good for us. 99% of all the trade that happens is tariff free. So we're just talking about 1% sliver of trade between Canada and the United States that is in question. I would say negotiations are in order. Sitting at the table is in order. Having the right people around the table is in order. And I haven't seen any indication of that from this current government. Let me share with you this. Remember, Gary Dewar was appointed as ambassador to the United States, and he went to Washington to negotiate a Canadian exemption to Buy America. What has Prime Minister Carney done? Has he replaced the current ambassador with someone who's more ideologically congruent with the Americans so that they can start talking and discussing and come to some sort of agreement? No, he hasn't. To me, that says that he's not serious about dealing with the issue and is just using this as a political opportunity. And trade is way too important to be used as a political football.
now, I think it was Pierre Poilievre who initially stated that one of the things we might want to do or have to do is to accelerate the renegotiation of the free trade agreement, the USMCA. Is that something that you see also happening after the election?
Absolutely the right thing to do. And if you watch President Trump's words, he uses the word reciprocity a lot. I
Right.
think what he's really trying to do is get to the point where we remove our trade, our tariffs. They remove their trade tariffs. We truly then have free and fair trade going back and forth. That's, I think, what he's doing, and that's his ultimate goal in these negotiations. But remember, he's the art of the deal kind of guy, and
Mm.
he's going to use every measure at his disposal to see that Americans get a great deal. Now, last negotiation, we didn't get a great deal. We used to be the number one trading partner with America. After that negotiation, which was done by the Liberal Party, Liberal government, we fell to number two. Mexico is number one. This
Hmm.
is a shame. We really should be number one, and we should fight to make sure that we become that in the next couple of years by a
Interesting.
better trade deal. Yeah.
Better trade deal. That probably means some sacred cows will have to be up for negotiation, including supply management, right?
It certainly might have to. Certainly
Yeah.
might have to. When you're in the thick of it, you barter back and forth. I believe, though, President Trump's ultimate objective is zero tariffs, and if we truly believe that trade is a good thing, we should be there too.
And now China has approached Canada and said, "Hey, we should work together in fighting the Trump tariffs." What do you think of that idea?
I think it's very, very dangerous. They're so far away. I don't see how we can possibly replace America as our number one trading partner. The logistics just don't make sense to China. And remember, China has a lot of advantages that we don't. They don't have environmental regulations. We have huge amounts of environmental regulations. They have a currency that they control. Ours is a floating currency. Those are advantages that just are hard to deal with in a trade environment. So my sense is, let's work with America. We'll be better off for it. That's the reason why Canada's so successful and wealthy to this point. Let's keep doing that. That's our best bet.